What is going on, guys? This is Justin with Go Crazy Card Collecting. I have got a story to tell you. It's pretty awesome. I was a part of holding one of the biggest pieces of baseball history I've ever even seen in person, let alone held in someone's kitchen, and talked to him about it, about how it was acquired and things like that. As you saw from the thumbnail, you probably know it is a Cy Young autograph, and I'm going to tell that story here in just a minute. But before I tell that story, I want to show you an item that I got framed. It's a 1948 ad for the Babe Ruth story. I found it at a flea market, had a bunch of vintage posters, and I just think this is phenomenal. I've shown it on my channel before. It cost me $3, and it's got a little bit of a burn kind of down here. They had mostly movie. I mean, this is a movie, but they had mostly different types of movie. This is the only sports one at all that they had, and I just thought it was super cool. They made this in 48, and it premiered right after Babe Ruth passed, and so yeah, I just think it's really awesome. Anyway, I'm going to tell you this story, so stick with me. I think you're going to think this is pretty awesome, really, really neat. A buddy of mine that lives here in town with me is a collector, not quite like I'm a collector. He'll buy a card, and then it might have a bunch of other cards with it, and he'll send me a text, hey, I just bought something. I got a bunch of these other cards. Do you want them? Do you want to come get them? And so he'll collect here and there. He collects Brooks Robinson because we live in Arkansas, and he collects Hogs memorabilia, and he collects Cardinals just like me. We're both Cardinals fans. And so we talk quite often. I text him quite often. Well, he invited me over. His future son-in-law, which I'm DJing his daughter and his future son-in-law's wedding, acquired a collection. And the collection, I believe, was his uncle's, and his uncle had passed away. And so he had given this to my friend in order for him to kind of help him go through it and figure out what to do with it and things like that. And so he invited me over just to look through some things, maybe see what might be worth getting graded, different things like that. So I went over there, and there were some pretty big bangers in there. There was a Rickey Henderson rookie. I'll show you these up here on the screen. I didn't bring any of them home with me. They're his collection. They're not my cards. Actually, I think I might have one of them. So, Rickey Henderson rookie card. This is his. This is a 62 mantle. I love this card. I can show you a picture of it too, so you can know I have that same card. But the 62 mantle. There was a 69 Nolan, and then the prize of the collection was the 68 Nolan Ryan rookie card, which I've got. It's one of my favorite cards. I have one as well. That was my mom's, and so this was his uncle's and that sort of thing. Anyway, we're looking through this collection, and we start talking about prices of different things, because I think that he's going to want to sell a lot of the collection. And maybe we can, if anybody reaches out, I've had some YouTube buddies reach out about some things, because I was sending them pictures and things like that. It's quite the collection. Lots of Hall of Famers, nothing graded, everything's raw. But he's gonna sell all that. Well, as we were talking, I was getting close to leaving and things like that, and I was like, man, I love, if you get anything else, let me know. And he's like, well, I've got this pretty awesome item that I don't think I've ever shown you. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, I haven't shown you, have I? How have I not shown you this? I'm like, I have no idea what you're even talking about. So he goes upstairs, and then he comes back down. He's like, I should have shown you this a long time ago. Check this out. And he hands me this. You can see that in the thumbnail. This is me holding a Cy Young signed little card. And I was like, the first thing anybody's thinking when they're holding something like that, it was like, okay, where's the certificate of authenticity? How do I know this is real? And he's like, and I got a pretty awesome way to prove that this is real. And he's like, let me be right back. So he goes back upstairs. He comes back down, and I'm like, "Did you bring the certificate?" He's like, "It's not a certificate, but I promise you this is real, and here's how." He shows me this book. This is from 1952. It is the Little League World Series book about all the players in the Little League World Series and things like that. And he has some pages marked, not physically marked, but he has like little tabs in there and showing specific pages. So he opens the tab to this picture right here. Now there are 3 boys in this picture. On the very right side of the picture is his dad. And I know his dad. Both these guys go to church with me, and that's his dad on the right. In 1952, his dad played in the Little League World Series. Then he flips to another page that he has marked, and he says, well, here's another picture. That in the middle right there, and I'm reading the little inscription, is Cy Young. Cy Young was at this 52 Little League World Series. Now he's like 85 years old at the time. He dies a few years later at the age of 88. And so I may be wrong on the exact age, but he's around 85. And so what he said is at this Little League World Series, his dad got this autograph in person from Cy Young just a few years before he died. And how cool is that? How cool is, I mean, and he's still, he's still alive. He's very active in the church. He helps out all the time. Really awesome thing. And so I had no idea. And I think it's one of the coolest things I've ever touched. One of the coolest things I've ever seen. One of the coolest things that I was just sitting in a kitchen at the kitchen table looking at baseball cards that someone just springs on me. I've never, ever experienced anything like that, this cool, with that cool of a story. And so I hope you stuck around to hear it. So cool. A buddy of mine that I collect with here in town, his dad played in the Little League World Series in 1952 and met Cy Young and got his autograph on this card, which they still have. And they haven't got it authenticated. He doesn't trust sending it off, and I don't blame him. That's way more sentimental value than a lot of things. And so I don't blame him for that. We do have a card show coming up this weekend that has JSA there. And so he's thinking about taking it there, but he hasn't got it authenticated to this point, and he has a pretty good story to prove it. So very awesome. I hope you stuck around. It's one of the craziest things, like, let's go crazy card collecting, right? That's one of the craziest things I've ever been a part of. I hope you watched, and I hope you listen, and I hope you think it's cool too. Please leave a comment and let me know. I'd love to talk to you guys about this. It's very, very neat. So have a good one. Stay blessed, and I hope to talk to you.